friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our half acre homestead, and I'm going to make a simple Colcannon to have with our chicken tonight. Now, I normally wouldn't make this because Howie's not fond of kale, and so all of my kale usually is dehydrated. But I went out into the garden and a couple of stray kale plants had survived and the centers were fresh and young. So I went, why not? We're having chicken tonight. Let's have chicken and Colcannon. Okay, so basic Colcannon is mashed potatoes with onions and kale. Some people use cabbage, some people use different green onions, all that stuff. But this is the basic recipe. Now this, whoops, don't go away, onion. I've got here 4 medium potatoes, or 2 big ones, 2 medium onions, and I'm going to go through this kale. I have washed it in vinegar. Just want to make sure that it's nice and clean, and I'm just going to devein it. Howie is not, this actually has some bug damage. I'm just going to toss that. I kept this in my fridge. When I picked it, I just put it in a jar of water like a bouquet in my fridge. See, because even though the outer leaves were really tough and not great for this, the inner leaves are just beautiful. Just beautiful. So, like I said, you can use, oh, there's a little green wormy. Gotta rinse him eyes. Even though you wash him, you gotta go through it. My Uncle Joe would say, leave that in there. It's extra protein. But no, thank you, Uncle Joe. I'm not as tough as you. So, I just want to shred it up really, really fine. And make sure there's no twigs in it or oops, fire and stuff all over the place. Just want to make sure. This is kale is a huge powerhouse of nutrition. It really, really is. It's one of the superfoods. So if I can get it into them, especially fresh, then I'm going to do my darndest, aren't I? But most of it gets dehydrated and then crumbled on the top of soups and stuff just to look like parsley. I think that's good enough. So I'm just going to put it in our salted water here. Now, I'm going to get out the peeler. I'm going to peel our potatoes and our onions. And to make it extra rich, you can use half and half cream if you like. We don't do half and half cream anymore. After Howie got off of it after his heart attack, when he tried it, it didn't taste right to him. So now he's like coffee and milk. So we will use milk. You don't need to see me cook the chicken. It's just going to go on my little pan in the oven, covered in my favorite spices, which is a mix I make of paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, and a bit of smoked paprika. And then out comes our chop buddy. That's what I call it. Be really careful with those blades, folks. Even grabbing them as you take them out of the dishwasher, they're uber sharp. So this is a Colcannon of what I've got in the kitchen. 4 medium potatoes, 2 medium onions, and a cup of fresh chopped kale. And in that goes. And 20 minutes before my chicken is ready, I'm going to bring this up to a boil and simmer it for 20 minutes. When that's done, we'll be back. Just so you know what's going with the Colcannon, chicken. I put it in this little grill pan so that the grease can drain away from the skin. Like I said, this is mostly onion powder. You tweak it the way you want, but it's onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, sweet paprika, salt, and pepper. And I'm going to put this in the oven and set the timer so that it goes on during my live stream. Okay, so I brought this up to a boil. And now I'm going to let it simmer for, well, once it's brought up to a boil, you turn it down to simmer and you simmer it for 20 minutes. We only have 10 minutes left of that. Our timer has gone off. Let's mash this stuff. I'm going to put, I don't know, a tablespoon and a half of butter in there. Don't complain and say, oh, I wish you were eating healthier. Trust me, this is as good as it gets. This is power food. Onions, anything in the onion family has, I may have put too much milk in here. Anything in the onion family has some antibiotic properties. This is too runny. You know what I've done? All right, we can fix this. Yes, sue me. I'm going to add a bit of instant mashed potatoes just because I want these to be thicker. Because I added too much milk before judging just how soft this was. Just a little bit more. Now, if you want, you can add half and half cream. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? All right. Father's going to be home shortly, so let's make him up a plate. You know what? I meant to put some garlic in here. I'm going to do that. Because I know Father. He's not a friend of kale. He's not a fan of kale. So, do that. I just tasted it, so a little bit more salt. Now let's, yes. There's one thing you never want to hear out of Papa's lips. It's a little bland. Isn't that beautiful? So as soon as Papa comes home, he'll be here any minute. You'll get to see what he thinks of that. You think you want, Gracie Magoo? No, you're not. She just looked at my chicken. No, you're not getting it. So, this is Irish Colcannon.
Irish Colcannon.
And then it's made, you can make it with cabbage, but I had kale. And apparently, it's kale, onions, and potatoes mashed together. Now, I had to cheat and add a bit of instant mashed potatoes because it was too runny.
That's awesome.
See, so you will eat fresh kale.
Little pieces, yeah.
There you go. Thank you, darling. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, we found something that Daddy will eat kale that it isn't dehydrated in Colcannon. Thank you to whoever suggested it. It was an awesome idea. Mwah! Take care. God bless.